And take a look. This is from our 10 News breaking news tracker just minutes ago. Some rain, sprinkles there on the 8 at the 8:05. So just be careful. This is out there. Megan's going to update you here right now. I'm Virginia Chop.
I'm Jason Martinez. There she is, Megan. And will these be the last raindrops we see for a little while?
You know, I will say tomorrow it should be drier, but sprinkles can't be ruled out of the marine layer because it is going to be with us the next several nights and mornings. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday looks like our best chance for a few sprinkles. But again, it's just a little chance for that. And look at PB looking beautiful. Oh, I think they just wiped off this camera. There were some raindrops here a second ago. So if you're driving through PB or even La Jolla, you may run into some slick roads this morning. In fact, I've got Pinpoint Doppler Live fired up near Point Loma up to Ocean Beach, near La Jolla as well. Getting a little bit of rain, maybe parts of downtown as well. Encinitas up to the Oceanside area, even Vista. Maybe a little rain right now. Again, it's just some drizzle this morning, so that's something to keep in mind as you're heading out to school. But by recess, you'll be drier. 66 degrees this afternoon. In fact, another cool day, a little bit better clearing, but still expecting to see a lot of clouds into the afternoon. I'm forecasting the highs for your neighborhood. I'll have that for you in San Diego's most accurate forecast when I see you in 9 minutes. Jason?
Megan, thank you very much. Breaking news, an ambulance ride to the hospital gets derailed by a crash, turning everyone in the ambulance into patients. The driver fell asleep. An EMT was hurt, and the patient in the back had to be hauled out and put into another ambulance.
This happened just a couple of hours ago in Grantville. 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is there now. So Mimi, what else have you uncovered about what happened?
Virginia, Jason, we've learned that the ambulance was just feet away from its destination to Kaiser Permanente when that EMT says he fell asleep at the wheel, missed this curb here, jumped it, hit that sign, and flipped over. This is on Mission Gorge and Friars Road. The people working at this Denny's say they heard a noise and then looked outside of the windows and just saw that ambulance sliding on the curb like it was a movie, they said. Our 10 News breaking news tracker was here as that EMT in the back and the patient were getting rescued. The patient was originally on the way to the hospital for dialysis treatment, but police tell me, fortunately, he was completely strapped into his gurney, so he was stable when that ambulance did flip over. The medic, however, in the back was hurt. He has minor to moderate injuries, including a big cut to his head. He was bleeding here at the scene. Both he and that patient were taken to Sharp Memorial, but are expected to be okay. There were no road closures because the ambulance actually landed in that Bank of America parking lot. And police tell me that they are fortunate that everything ended the way it did because it could have been a lot worse because they were just feet away from hitting that electric box right over there. We're live in Grantville this morning. Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
And happening today, the man arrested for a devastating crash that put a little boy in the hospital will appear before a judge. And as we're learning, it's not the first time that driver has been in a U.S. court.
Yeah, 10 News uncovered documents showing he has been arrested for DUI before and was sent back to Mexico 15 times. 10 News reporter Jim Patton is in San Ysidro live right now. So Jim, now this morning, some witnesses are questioning who was really behind the wheel?
Yeah, we're going to hear from a woman that says that she doesn't believe that he was the man at the wheel. But while we're at the intersection, get a good idea of how this accident took place Saturday night about 10:30. See this car coming up to what is the only stop sign at this intersection, and that is the stop sign that this accused hit-and-run driver is accused of running, and then he would have hit a vehicle going roughly in the direction of that truck there, only probably continuing down Dairy Mart Road. And vehicles tend to travel at a high rate of speed here, so you can get an idea of how this was a powerful impact. And it was right on the driver's side back door, and that is where the young 6-year-old boy was sitting, and he was seriously injured. Now a GoFundMe page has been set up for him. His father talking to us about the support that he's been seeing.
I can't believe the outpouring of support. The community is wonderful. People we don't even know, and it's been amazing, the support we're getting from everyone.
And that's Benjamin Lake. His wife Ingrid and 6-year-old son Lennox were just a block from their San Ysidro home after their trip to Disneyland. But when they entered this intersection we just showed you at Dairy Mart Road and Camino de la Plaza, they say that they were slammed by the truck that blew a stop sign. And that today, that suspected driver, as you mentioned, of that truck who was accused of also driving away from the accident, scheduled to be arraigned. He's 38-year-old Constantino Banda, an undocumented immigrant who ICE agents say has been deported at least 15 times, the last in January of this year. But a woman who says that she saw him leave a nearby restaurant with a friend just moments before the crash insists that he was not the one driving.
She says, I don't know if they changed, but when they left, I strongly know it was the other man.
And that other man is in the custody of ICE agents, also an undocumented immigrant, but not facing any charges over this collision. As far as Banda, he will be arraigned later today, and we'll, of course, have the details on that. Reporting live in San Ysidro, Jim Patton, 10 News.
Jim, thanks. And Team 10 found evidence that Banda should have been off San Diego roads a decade ago. Here's a breakdown of all of his arrests. And according to the court documents, he was arrested in 2006 for DUI. In 2009, he was charged with driving with a suspended license for a prior DUI conviction. He was charged for other suspensions in 2011. The DMV actually does not have a record of him ever having a driver's license or ID card. And coming up at 6:30, we're going to be talking with former San Diego District Attorney about the unique challenges of prosecuting a case like this and how Banda was allowed to cross the border illegally so many times.
Melissa Masiha here in the 10 News Live Center. Just in, we have new reaction from President Trump over the man he fired, former FBI Director James Comey. He says here that Comey will be replaced by someone who will do a far better job bringing back the spirit and prestige of the FBI. He goes on to say that Comey lost the confidence of almost everyone in Washington, Republican and Democrat alike. When things calm down, they will be thanking me. Of course, Virginia, question is when things are going to calm down.
Yeah, they're definitely not calm now, Mel. In fact, let's take a live look at Capitol Hill, where a lot of lawmakers are saying they're still surprised about the Trump administration firing FBI Director James Comey. Now, Comey's firing letter is right out in the open, right here for everybody to read in the New York Times. But Comey himself found out on television. The White House says Comey was handed his walking papers for how he handled the Clinton email scandal. Some lawmakers are now concerned about the FBI's investigation into Russia's involvement with the Trump campaign. They're asking for a special prosecutor to take over.
Were these investigations getting too close to home for the president? It is troubling that Attorney General Sessions, who had recused himself from the Russian investigation, played a role in firing the man leading it.
I've always believed that we should have a select committee or a commission because it's a very large issue. It's gotten larger and it'll get more large as time goes by.
Now, some people instantly started comparing President Trump to President Nixon. The Richard Nixon Presidential Library, so in response, tweeted out this. Fun fact, President Nixon never fired the director of the FBI, hashtag not Nixonian. But President Nixon did fire a key player, the special prosecutor in the Watergate investigations. Bill Clinton, by the way, was the last president to fire an FBI director. He did it after Director William Sessions refused to step down over ethical concerns. So who's minding the store? This man. He's Comey's deputy, Andrew McCabe. He's now the acting FBI director, but the Attorney General will be naming an interim head in the coming days. Jason.
All right, Virginia, thanks. We have breaking news right now in Southcrest. A word of a person shot. 10 News photojournalist Paul Landerig live at the scene. Paul, what do you know?
We're right here by the Northgate Market. This is right off of George Third Street. This is actually Alpha Street. There's a park down there, Keeler Park. You can see some yellow tape across the street. That's where they believe that shooting took place. They found at least 5 shell casings. There's also a blood trail that goes across the street here, which is why they're closing the street all the way down to the front of the Northgate Market down there. That's where that victim was located, bleeding profusely. He has at least 1 gunshot wound to the arm. Right now, like I said, they've closed off Alpha Street here west of 43rd Street, and they're going to be continuing to search for a suspect who's last seen jumping in a car and fleeing the scene.
Oh, boy, that's scary to know somebody's out there who just fired a shot at it, and hopefully that man gets the care he needs. Thank you, Paul.
All right, meanwhile, let's talk to Megan Perry here at 6:09 because people are still trying to figure out, because it's a little, sort of iffy.
Yeah, today's our transition day out of that pattern that we've been seeing since Saturday. So some drizzle possible. It actually looked like some of the roads there in Southcrest were pretty wet. Look at their screen really quickly because this is so cool. You can see the clouds moving off of our South Bay sky cam. You don't see that too often, so that's pretty amazing. Anyway, drizzle is going to be possible through the mid to late morning hours, and then we're going to be drier as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures as you're heading out to lunch will be in the mid 60s for the coast and inland neighborhoods. In fact, that's where our highs are going to top off this afternoon, and breezy this afternoon in our mountains. I'm tracking more sunshine rolling in tomorrow when I come back with your full forecast in 9 minutes.